Hey everybody, it's Dana. I hope you are having a fantastic day. I have been getting some emails from viewers on helpmedane@gmail.com asking me about this cycle chart that's been going around about IRS tax refunds. So I thought we'd do a little deep dive investigation into it. Well, not too deep because it's pretty straightforward. But I did figure I'd answer some of the questions about that and talk about how accurate this chart is. So this chart can be found over at I Got My Refund, whether it's through their directly through the forum at igotmyrefund.com. So it's important to note that the people over at I Got My Refund are not IRS tax employees. I am not an IRS employee. All this information basically comes from years of experience. For me personally, it's through my years of investigation, journalism, covering the subject of IRS, the tax system, the e-filing system itself. That's where a lot of my knowledge comes from. From their knowledge, it's just basically similar on their own end of covering IRS and tax refunds themselves over the years, noticing the ebbs and flows of how everything works and pooling all that data they take over the years. So for the most part, the information you're going to be getting over at I Got My Refund is going to be fairly accurate. And this chart is no different. The main way I was able to judge fairly quickly whether this chart was going to be accurate is just by looking at that first batch of PATH refunds that should be going out at the end of February. Because we all know that, well, maybe we don't all know, but I know that weekly batch updates, transcripts update on Fridays. The Where's My Refund tool updates with direct deposits on Saturday mornings or overnight Friday into Saturday. And that deposit is always for a Wednesday, except when the week of that direct deposit is a holiday, in which case the first batch of PATH direct deposits that Wednesday falls in the week of President's Day on that Monday, so they push the deposit date back one day to Thursday. And sure enough, when I looked at their cycle chart, they had February 23rd, which is that Thursday, so they correctly put the first PATH weekly deposit on a Thursday. So I knew from there it was going to be pretty accurate, and just scanning through their dates, they do look accurate. The one thing I wish they had left off of this cycle chart is the date accepted in the first column, simply because it's just not going to be true for everybody. Anyone that's ever had their return held for review, kicked over to the errors department and held for any length of time, can tell you that it didn't matter when their return was accepted. It mattered when the IRS actually finished processing their return, which they do kind of cover themselves at the top, where they say deposit dates are based on the IRS accepting returns and when your return is approved by the IRS. However, it's just unnecessary to put the date accepted on this chart. So if you ignore the date accepted, because it's just not going to matter in the long run, the chart is going to be fairly accurate. So yes, to answer the questions I've been getting about this cycle chart, it's pretty legit. It's not from the IRS. The IRS has not done an official refund cycle chart since 2013, I think, is the last year they did one, because they just stopped promising when they'd be able to get refunds out. But if you ever do want to follow a good forum, I do recommend I Got My Refund. I have no affiliation with them. It is a forum I followed over the years and talked to people over there in the forums and gathered my own data from them. So it certainly is a place where you can find some good information. You might find a lot of people are having the same problems. You can follow them over on their Facebook page as well. Another place where you can find other tax filers that you can share information with. Of course, like any other forum, there's going to be a lot of the same question asked repeatedly. You can just rifle over the things you don't want to see and look for the things you do need answers to. And of course, you can always come to me if you ever have any questions that I might be able to answer over at helpmedane@gmail.com. So that's the long and short of it. Basically, like I said, not too deep of a dive into this one. It's It's straightforward. I mean, the cycle chart's pretty accurate. It's a good general guide to how the deposits are going to work out. We'll say that. Anyway, let me know what you think. Have you seen this cycle chart going around? Have you seen other charts going around? As far as I've seen, as far as the charts, this one is the most accurate. So don't be afraid to leave other questions in the comments. Make sure you like and subscribe. I do read my comments. I try to answer as many questions as I can. And sometimes when I get real good questions, I make videos out of them. So don't be shy. We're trying to grow this community here. Share all the information that we have. Share the information I have. Every little bit helps to set people's minds at ease. This is a stressful time of year for a lot of people, and we just want to make it as easy as we possibly can so that you can get that money and enjoy it. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you next week.